In this episode of Randomland, I think it's just about time for another epic Disney theme park adventure. But you know what? We've seen a lot of the original Disneyland lately. I feel like it's time for a change. Because as much as I love Walt Disney's original castle, I feel like it's time to lay eyes on a bigger one. Now that's what I call an upgrade. Look at the size of that castle. We've just traded Adventureland for Adventureland, Frontierland for Frontierland, Tomorrowland for Tomorrowland, Fantasyland for Fantasyland, and New Orleans Square for Liberty Square? We've returned to Florida, to the Magic Kingdom. That's right, we're back at Walt Disney World. And look at this, what impeccable timing. Yeah! Behold the glory. I am feeling overstimulated. Seriously, I can hardly believe where we're standing right now. I was born and raised in Anaheim, California with the original Disneyland. But about 10 years ago, I started coming out here and going back and forth so often that this place began to feel just as much like home as the original. But then the pandemic hit, we had the Chapek years, and my fiance was in and out of the hospital for a whole year. And somehow, without me even realizing it, more than a year went by without me visiting the most magical place on earth. Now, to be fair, when the love of your life is almost dying, you have other priorities. But as much as humanly possible, I'm ready to make up for lost time. So get ready, my friends, for another trip around the world and through the Magic Kingdom and beyond out here. With absolutely no plan or agenda other than visiting an old friend one last time. But otherwise, no fast passes, no plans, no hashtag hosted, just good old-fashioned adventure. And as much as I'd like to hit the hay right now because my arms are really sore from flying coast to coast today, there's no way I can start this adventure without going on my favorite ride, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority, the Wedway, the world's most glorious attraction, the People Mover.
Stay clear of the doors, which will open and close automatically. Enjoy your journey.
Oh yeah, dude, this is the peak. This is the best. The TTA Blue Line non-stop service around Tomorrowland. I'm tripping out how much has changed out here. The narration is all different, and of course, the scenery has changed quite a bit over the years. No more stench over here. I wonder what's going on with that space. And after my favorite part, the old Progress City model in here is a really crazy change. First though, look at that. Look at Walt Disney's dream of a city of tomorrow. Ooh, look at that. These guys are still here too. But check this out, craziest of all. I haven't been here in so long. I haven't seen this ever. The Tron light cycle is nearly complete. And look at it, it's running. There's no guests on it, but it is running. Dude, that is out of this world. Speaking of out of this world, here we go. Into Space Mountain. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've ridden my favorite Space Mountain. I think the Disneyland Paris one is best. I'll always love the Disneyland one I grew up with. For some reason, this one scares me so badly. It's terrifying. It's always going to be my favorite, I think. There's nothing like the People Mover. Well, except for like the Disneyland Railroad. But the Disneyland Railroad doesn't have nearly as many people screaming inside.
Paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow. Please contact Mr. Johnson in the control tower to confirm your flight to the moon.
We don't want to make this all about the People Mover. After all, we're going to be here for a few days at least. It's just that it's one of those things I never get tired of. You can never have too much of. Besides, how can you beat that view? Even though I only got 1 hour of sleep in the past 48 hours. I'm so excited to be here now that I just want to run around and ride rides all night long. But of course, a part of why I decided at the last minute to come out here now is just how gray and rainy and disgusting it's been in Southern California lately. So I am way more than a little excited to see the Magic Kingdom by daylight again. All right, gang, let's get the heck out of here while the getting's good and head on back to our place in the woods. Finally. Gosh, I'm so tired, but I'm so excited to see Disney World by daylight tomorrow. Hotel and sleep well. Yes! We're finally back in the Florida sunshine, and look at this! The monorail! I am so excited. I got a little bit of sleep finally last night, so things finally seem like they're real and we're actually back. You know, the last time I was at Magic Kingdom was for the actual 50th anniversary. I didn't expect to come back a year later. Well, actually, I should say 15 months later and find it still going on, but I guess I should have expected as much. After all, Disneyland's 60th anniversary felt like it lasted 60 years. Oh my gosh, friends. There was just something about that view where if you haven't seen this castle in a long time, and particularly if you've only seen the original one in Anaheim for a while, which is less than half the height of Cinderella's castle here, then this thing looks absolutely mammoth. I mean, would you look at the size of that chateau? It just keeps going. It's a beautiful sight, all right. Still not used to seeing it in those 50th anniversary colors, but I don't hate it. Anyway, Mickey's about to step out here and things are gonna get loud, so probably a good time to make ourselves scarce.
Looks like everybody's ready.
Oh, Mickey, I just love the Friendship Fair. A day of joy and music and having fun together.
That's right.
All right, first things first for me, I'm heading back down Main Street because since the last time I was here, something really exciting has happened. And if I'm gonna be playing catch up, then why not begin with the newly reopened Walt Disney World Railroad. Holy moly, it's been a long time since I've been in here. Look at the size of this gorgeous 19th century train station. The murals, the old picture show. Ooh, everything about it is glorious. But of course, nothing about the station itself is as glorious as those beautiful steam-powered locomotives. Look at that. Walt Disney's favorite thing on the planet, a train. All right, let's hop aboard this train and soak in some Magic Kingdom Railroad vibes. Chugging away through Adventureland, onwards to Frontierland. Lots of bushes back here. Ooh, but now we're coming up on the best part, the tunnel to Frontierland Station. And on the way, our view of Splash Mountain, just like back home in Anaheim. Dude, how glorious are the trains at Walt Disney World? How cool is it that the train station in Frontierland is upstairs? And check this out. There's Splash Mountain. Look at the size of that line. It's pretty cool that this is almost like a double feature. You know, you leave Frontierland Station, you've just seen Splash Mountain, and then bam, here we are. Big Thunder, and there's the town of Tumbleweed. Whoa, watch out for the train! It's the wildest ride in the wilderness. I love how much epic stuff is back here. They added so much scenery throughout Frontierland behind the rivers of America. And it's kind of nice having all this interspersed before we reach the next station. Ah, here we are. Fantasyland. Ooh. I think we're gonna refill the water tank out here. But luckily it doesn't take too long before we're chugging away again. Back down the tracks. Alright, here we go. This is something I wanted to see that I've never experienced before because the railroad just opened, of course, because Tron affected the track layout. I had to essentially rebuild all this, and now we are going underneath the new Tron ride, heading in the tunnel. Let's see if there's any Tron theming down here. I'm pretty interested to find out what's going on, because the train goes right underneath. Whoa, this is interesting. A vehicle from the future! And that's it!
Sky's the limit.
That's all the Tron you get! Well, at least we still have our epic view of the gift shop and Space Mountain back here, but I'm still really surprised. That's all there was. Making our way back now towards the Main Street USA station. I would have loved this. The monorails going by and the trains, just so many vehicles. Ah, that was fun. There is just nothing more classic than a Disney train ride. After all, if Walt didn't want to build the world's coolest train set, we would have never had Disney parks. You know, I was actually pretty surprised how little Tron you could see from the train. I thought with the train tracks going underneath it like that, you'd see a lot more of the ride, but instead, it was pretty much all tunnel. Tron Tunnel, that is. Maybe it lights up at night, because I did see lights in the tunnel, but back in California, we used to have the People Mover go through something called the Tron Tunnel. It was like a regular tunnel with all kinds of weird Tron-like projections on the walls. So I don't know, I thought they'd kind of take advantage of a tunnel going through Tron here to do sort of a different Tron Tunnel. Like Tron Tunnel, the sequel, or something like that. Man, Tron is such a huge change, but there's so many other little changes. Like the Carousel of Progress over here has got a whole new ending. I mean, it's about time, and it's amazing to see something like that updated and keep living on into the future. Well, okay, it's not an all-new ending, but they do have new outfits, so it's at least a little bit refreshed in there. At first I didn't even notice. I was like, what's different? And then I realized the daughter, she looks like she could be right out of today. She's got the pajama pants and the loose sweater. The weird, I'm hanging out at home in 2005 haircut, so bravo! Better than nothing, and they're doing the best they can considering that the voice actors, some of them are no longer with us on Earth anymore. Mainly, it's just nice to see it open again. But there are other, arguably even more minor changes that may not seem like a big deal, but collectively, when you add them all together, really make a huge difference in the whole feel of the place. See, during the pandemic, when Disney World first reopened, a lot of stuff was missing. I mean, for one thing, a lot of the snack carts and stuff were closed. You had very few, like, snack or drink cart options, which was a little bit frustrating, but not a huge deal. After all, they were sort of short-staffed at the beginning, but then you had the things that were more about keeping physical distance, like a lot of the character interactions closed, and so all the classic character interactions, or I guess I should say meet and greets, like Pete's silly sideshow here, were closed down in favor of outdoor interactions where you couldn't even get as close as that girl is to Chip and Dale right now. It made sense. Parks around the world were doing that with their characters, but the weird thing was how long it took for them all to go back to normal. In fact, Pete's Silly Sideshow only just reopened. Look at this. We can finally go back in here and meet either Minnie and Daisy over on the left-hand side, or Donald and Goofy over here on the right. Oh, Goofy, it's been so long. I came to ask you for a ride on your motorcycle, but it looks like, it's Heimbucked. That's not gonna be happening today. All right, well, I just want to hug Goofy, please. Oh, it feels so good. Sick pig. Very good. You're the only other guy wearing a jacket out here, Goofy. That's why I like your style. Oh, no one's too old for Donald. Look, it's my favorite duck. Oh, I gotta be careful. I don't want to get mesmerized. Donald, what are you trying to do to me? Oh, you did it to yourself. What a fun one. Thanks, Donald. Oh, you gotta love visiting the characters. See, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it's vitally important. And I'll tell you why. How cool is it that you could come from anywhere around the world, like from any country on Earth, and get here to the Magic Kingdom and see someone you know? Like from personal experience, when I went to Disneyland Paris for the first time, or one of the times, I was there for like a month. I don't speak beaucoup French. And in fact, almost no one I met spoke English. So I didn't have anyone to interact with or talk to, much less hug. So believe me, in the mornings when I would see Mickey Mouse or Donald, Goofy, Pluto, you name it, have a little conversation or get a hug, believe me, it meant the world to me. It completely changed the way I looked at character interactions. I no longer looked at them like a celebrity meet and greet. Instead, I realized that these characters are so universal and so beloved that it's more like seeing an old friend or a family member, or weirder but probably more accurately, it's like seeing and hugging a part of yourself that you thought you left in childhood or something. I guess it's something that's kind of hard to explain to the cynic. In fact, the reason I walked up to Donald and said, no one's too old for Donald, is the lady in front of me had a kind of crotchety husband who was like, ah, here we go, just like a little kid. Aren't we too old for this? And the answer is no. No one's ever too old for this. Now, there's definitely a bad kind of fandom. I mean, anything can be toxic if you do it the wrong way. People can get entitled or too worried about keeping up with a certain lifestyle. That is definitely not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the magic, the family memories, the getting in touch with your imagination, the being inspired by all of the creativity. Yes, it'd be a lot better to put your money in stocks than into a massive Spirit jersey or popcorn bucket collection. But as a collector myself and a Disney aficionado, I gotta say, the sick merch can be pretty fun too. In moderation, of course, guys, moderation. It's so good to be back in the Magic Kingdom. I mean, look at this. Country bears! We've got country bears on top of country bears! Big Al! You're my boy, Big Al! Sorry, Liver Lips McGraw. I love you too. I love both of you. Oh, that's the magic of Disney World. See, you're not gonna see that in Anaheim. Not anymore, anyway. All right. by now, most of you have probably figured out that the main reason I'm here now, even for such a short time, is that these are the final days of Splash Mountain. So in between all the stuff we're doing, I've been riding it and filming it for posterity and because I love it. But we'll save our farewell to Splash Mountain for a dedicated episode, more than just being here to ride it one last time. I really wanted to be here when some of the stuff we've seen has reopened, like the train, because with all that stuff coming back and the character meet and greets reopened, it's the first time, really, since it shut down for the pandemic, that I've been back to Walt Disney World, and it actually feels right, like I'm back in the Magic Kingdom for real. Pandemic Magic Kingdom was good, but it just wasn't the same. So many little things were off. So I'm trying to burn my classic Magic Kingdom with the railroad and Splash Mountain into my brain just one final time. All right, anyway, speaking of changes and little changes that nobody else but me would care about, unless you, like me, have celiac disease, I'm getting very hungry. I can smell Pecos Bills over here. And by the way, look at that second-story balcony. Look at the cool, like, Pueblo style mixed with that Hacienda style. Oh, glorious themed details. But as much as I love Tall Tales and the Rice Bowls here, there's been another change for the better. Back over in Fantasyland. Back over here at Pinocchio's Village House. Look at this. The gluten-free chicken tenders are back. The good ones. During the pandemic, they replaced them with ones that were all Heimbach. Not to mention they've got Coke Zero in here now, and I've been sugar-free for a while now, so this helps. Took me about 30 seconds to eat that. I wouldn't want to make you suffer by watching me eat it, but take my word for it, it was good. Ooh, it got a little cloudy outside now. Off camera, when you haven't seen me, I've been standing in this line over and over throughout the day, getting my splashing on. And pretty much everybody else out here knows they're getting their final rides on Splash Mountain. So it's been busy all day. Ooh, about an 80-minute wait at this point. Don't worry, you'll see some of my splashes real soon. At this point though, I am getting so tired. It has been a busy day and a half or so. I went from Disneyland in California home to pack to the airport in the morning. I was on a plane all day yesterday until I hit the Magic Kingdom. And other than a short shower and sleep, I've pretty much been Magic Kingdoming ever since. And I know I'm getting tired now because I barely have the energy to take a fun pic. Cheese. Oh, that was it. The perfect photo right here. Look at that. Beautiful. They knew what they were doing when they installed those signs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wait a minute, I mean believers and dreamers, the day's not quite over here at Magic Kingdom. My day's certainly not over here either, but I think that's about all we have time for in this adventure. Don't worry though, we'll be back. Please make sure to check out all the links down below. There's so much other fun stuff going on that's not just on this channel. And I'll see you guys next time in Randomland. And now it's time to say goodbye. We've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well. You were?
Have we met before?
Yes, we have.
I'm kidding, of course we have.
Oh, okay. Whew. I thought you forgot me, Daisy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta get my picture right here. I gotta get my... wait. Sick pic! I'm sending that one to Grandma! Snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes? Alligators. Very dangerous. You go first. I stepped in the brown river.